Today I'm going to show you how to play Let It Go by Passenger. Now, the first thing you'll need is your capo. I actually play with my capo at fret 4, and I'm going to play it in the key of C because those are the chords that I just most recently taught you. Passenger actually plays the song in the same key, sort of the same shapes in the key of C, but he doesn't put it on capo 4. He puts it all the way up at capo 5, 6, 7. So instead of sounding like this, which is what fits my vocal range better, staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. He puts it up a bit higher and sounds like this. Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. So that's what he plays it in. If your vocal range fits that, or if you want to play along with the original, that's where you want to put your capo. And one of the interesting things is, because you're playing the chord shapes in the key of C, as you may remember from earlier videos, when you put the capo on, you're actually changing the key of the whole guitar and you're making everything higher. So for instance, if I was playing in my shapes in the key of C, like so, that's a C major, but if I put the capo on fret 2, that goes up 2 semitones, so this is a D major. And if I put them up another 2, that's going to be an E major. Now, if I put them all the way up to fret 7, which is where Passenger plays, my key of C actually becomes the key of G. Now you might wonder, well, if it's in the key of G, why not just play a regular G, like so? I mean, it sounds pretty similar, right? Now there's probably a couple of reasons why Passenger does that. Part of it, I think, has to do with the way the finger picking pattern that he uses, and if you want to learn that, there's tons of videos out there that will show you how to do that. But it also makes some of the transitions between chords a bit easier because some of the shapes in C are easier to move between than the shapes in G. Some are harder, some are easier. You'll see in the video. So let's have a go. How does the song start? I think it starts with the chorus. Yeah, there's a really soft chorus and it's just a finger picking pattern, but I'm not really interested in that. Let me show you the chords that it starts with. So it begins with an F. I'll actually sing it for you, and then I'll show you the chords slowly. We only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Okay, so there's 2 lines of the chorus, and they sort of repeat again and again. What are the chords? You go through an F to a C, and this is my C with a G bass, you might notice, to a G, to an A minor. Then the line restarts, it's very similar, back to an F, then a C, and then you hold on to the G, and you don't go to the A minor, you just let this G play for another measure. Okay. Now, a couple of things there. Firstly, the F, because you're going to have to be changing from that F to the C quite quickly, and there's a lot of fingers to move. So you might be having difficulty with bar chords at the moment. You can still play the song quite well if you play, instead of a full F major, you can play what we call an F major 7. So instead of having this index finger as the bar there, leave the rest of your 3 fingers there, and instead of playing the bar, just let it play the 1st fret on the 2nd string. Sounds like this. It's not quite an F because it's missing this F and this F, those notes which really belong in the chord, so you're just playing this. Try and avoid the that bottom string there because it's an E which doesn't really belong in the F chord. But that sounds not the same, but as you're playing quickly, you might not even notice, and you might also have seen that this shape is very, very, very similar to the C with the G bass. So that's the F major 7 there. And all I have to do to turn it into a C is move these 1, 2, 3 fingers to different strings. Same shape, different strings. So you could play like that, it would sound like this. Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Which is pretty passable. I don't think it sounds quite as good, which is why I play the F major, but it'll definitely work in a pinch. And sometimes the chords go so quickly, if you're playing with other instruments, particularly a bass guitar, you might not even notice that the chord is different. Okay, so that's the first chorus at the beginning, and then it moves into the verse. So let me sing sing a couple lines for you, and then I'll show you the chords in slow motion. So I think it's staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. The dreams come slow and they go so fast. Okay, so very similar to the chorus, which is not a mistake. You've got two lines very close to each other, and they repeat over and over again. So it starts with the A minor, staring at the bottom of your, into an F, glass, hoping, into a G, one day you'll make a dream, E minor, glass, the dreams come slow, back to the A minor, and they go so fast, F, then to the G. Now, you might have noticed I play a little funny thing here. This is if you remember from the key of G, that video, I'm going to put in a G with a G sus4, and then you let go of the G sus4 back to a normal G. So let me play it in proper speed again, and you can see it. Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. The dreams come slow, and they go so fast. So, another thing to notice there, that G sus4, it's quite quick. Getting the rhythm down for that is a bit tricky. You'll also notice I'm not really using the pick to actually make that sound. I'm actually using this finger, my index finger, to number one, hammer on. So that's when you've got a string and you can make it play another note just by pushing a finger onto it with a lot of force. So like this. So you might have, I'll do that again. I'm only going to strike the string once with the pick, but then I'm going to use my index finger to push down onto the string very quickly, which makes the second note. You see that? So that's called a hammer on, because your finger is like a hammer pushing onto the fret. And then to go back to the original G, instead of playing another note with my pick, I'm actually doing what we call a pull off. So it's the opposite of a hammer on. This is the hammer on. And the pull off is using my index finger to pluck the string. So you can see I didn't even have the pick in the area there. So I'll do it again. Pick, hammer, pull off. Okay. So this is how it sounds. How did it go? Hammer, pull. So minor differences. If you miss that, it's not that big a deal. But if you listen to the song over and over again, you'll hear the timing which he uses for that, and that's basically the way that he plays it. Okay, now those two sets of chords, one for the chorus and one for the verse, are basically it. There is that bridge, but I think it's pretty much using the same chords as the verse. Let me try. And you let her go. That sounded terrible. Let's try it again. And you let her go. That's exactly the same as the verse. Okay. Now, just like in the chorus, if you find the F shape quite difficult to move to, you can replace it with an F major 7. So instead of sounding like this, staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. Replacing the F with the F major 7 will sound like this. Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. So this sounds pretty close. The F major 7 sounds kind of less complete, a little more hollow than the F major, but like I said, it goes by quite quickly as a chord, and sometimes it sounds better to be able to get to that chord quickly and have it work with the rhythm, rather than have the exact right chord but not be able to play it properly and therefore muting strings and so on. And that's how you can play Let It Go by Passenger. Now, one last thing before I go. As the song increases, there's differences in intensity, right? So one of the things you might notice is that when he goes from finger picking to a full-on strum, so I'm not doing the finger picking pattern, so I'll just strum, but I'll strum softer. So see if you can hear the difference between the verse, which I'll start with, into the chorus here. So let's see. Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. But dreams come slow and they go so fast. You see you when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies. Oh, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you be high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. Back down to the verse. Staring at the ceiling in the dark. Same old empty feeling in your heart. But you get the idea, okay? So you want to have less strums during the verse. Let the sound of each chord ring out a little more rather than playing more notes. And don't strike the strings as hard. So there's a bit of a difference, so that when you get to the chorus, you can really feel the intensity and the energy of the song lift a little bit. And that's how to say, that's how to sing "Let It Go" by Passenger.